schedule being free September 1st to 4th.
I'm trying to, if they would like, you know, hit me back. I sent them my resume and everything. I'm trying to get a job with what's it called? Ignition. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AWL Major 1 qualifiers. We got a little bit of a banger tonight. We got F5 against Awaken Militia. Zave, how you feeling about this matchup, my guy?
I'm excited to get into it. That's for sure.
I think tonight we saw F5 in their last matchup, got 3-0'd, but it was a very close matchup, so I'm excited to see what they can do coming into the series against Awaken. If you want to throw it over to our featured player for tonight, Stewie, the SMG for F5. We finally have stats, folks. Not everyone will be a 99 overall, like we said. Stewie sitting at the 82 overall with an 86 hardpoint rating, a 67 S&D, and a 93 in control, but a team rating of 75. Zave, do you feel like any of these stats might be a little questionable?
Well, obviously, the first thing you look at is S&D being a 67. Granted, not every single team has played yet, so we don't really know how that's going to weight because there might be some teams that might be lower than that. But currently, obviously, that looks like it's definitely the sore spot on this team.
Yeah, I would agree. Their last matchup, they looked decent in S&D, but there were just a couple miscue plays here and there that kind of that ended up being their downfall in their last match. Let's go to our map set for tonight against these two teams. Again, those of you who follow the AWL Twitter and the AWL Intel Twitter will see that F5 loves to play things in threes. We got Tuscan Hardpoint, Tuscan S&D, Tuscan Control, and then we finish our series with a Berlin. How do you feel about this map set?
Uh, well, you know, I feel like a lot of teams favor Tuscan here. I don't know what the obsession is necessarily with the Tuscan and the Berlins, but if that's what they think they're the strongest on, then it makes the most sense. And I'll be interested to see, who this ends up favoring more since it's such a two map heavy set.
Yeah, that's the only questionable thing that I have about a map set like this. There is no real variety in terms of getting your gunny warm. Like maybe you're an AR and your gun's not warm yet. It's not like you have a bigger map to get
Hmm.
warm on because you got the same map 3 times in a row. So
Right.
the guns on both teams have to come out steaming.
Hmm.
I do want to go into predictions. What do you think the winner of this match will be, along with the map count?
You know, I'm hoping for a good match. We've seen a lot of 3-0 so far this season. And honestly, I think I'm going to be looking at F5 to take this, and I'm going to go ahead and say that they win it in a 3-2 fashion.
I would also agree. I do also have F5 taking this in a 3-2 because I feel like they were very close. As we see the head-to-head matchups, they were very close in their first match. It was just little kinks here and
Hmm.
there, some players starting off slower than others. But if that gets cleaned up and if they're able to keep the gunny of Awaken a little staggered, I think they have a chance to push this to a map 5, maybe eke out a control, which was one of their stronger game types in their
Hmm.
last matchup. So it could be the swing mode, which it usually is for a lot of series.
Yeah, and I'm definitely excited to see Awaken play here. So far, I haven't seen anything from them from in the AWL, so I'm really excited to see if maybe they come out with something shocking, and maybe by all means they end up blowing out F5. Maybe they're not as good as we expect, but at the end, I think we're all just hoping for a close match.
I would agree. I do want to throw you guys over to the schedule for the rest of the week and next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting it popping very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping in to our map 1 Tuscan hardpoint. We're going to be kicking it off with Stewie of F5.
And it looks like it's gonna be kind of a not really contested, but kind of almost afraid to hop off the hill. And here they go. They are gonna challenge through you, and that's gonna go to F5 there with the break off rip, but not much time gain still yet.
Yeah, I would agree. Not much time. It also seems like a lot of these teams, what we've seen so far out of the Tuscan that we've seen here in the AWL, a lot of teams don't really favor P1 until that second or third rotation. It becomes one of those hills that you're kind of just fighting for it, maybe get some time here and there, and then switch over to positioning. But we see Stewie running through the map, doing what he does. That's what we saw from him in their first series. He was one of their main gunnies, and we got to see if Awakening has any chance. Awaken Militia has any chance to try to slow him down.
Right, right. And so far, that's going to be decent time, at least, from the P1. 22 seconds isn't bad, considering how VC has gone so far. And that's a big kill from Tovin there. And he's going to look to stay up here in the back.
Yeah, right now, what we're seeing, if you look at the minimap, Awaken has basically created a semicircle around the hill. They're not allowing F5 to get anywhere close to the hill, but we do see 2 kills come in, 3 kills come in there on the side of Awaken.
Make that 5 now. As Awaken's kind of locking this down now after not being allowed in at the beginning, but
It becomes one of the P2 is one of those hills where might have to chalk it. Like right now, it's 20 seconds left on Hill. If you're F5, maybe decide to chalk it. Gunplay was making a lot of the big plays, no pun intended, in their last matchup. They might want to try to rotate, get him set up, and then try to bring this game back. Because as we've seen at all levels of Vanguard this year, this P2 to P3, if you get set up, you can get a full 60. But right now, that's what we're seeing. It looks like a couple members are rotated back. Stewie trying to play cutoff, trying to help out his teammate. He picks up one, goes in for the challenge, gets shut down. And it looks like still nobody's hopped on Hill yet.
Yeah, and on that first break off, if anyone was watching, number 5 Symbols, he made that early rotation. He ended up getting up 2, but they ended up stuffing him out. And time right now is still going to Awaken. It looks like F5's really struggled to gain any sort of substantial time on any of these players.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about before the match started. Since you're playing 3 Tuscans, your guns have gotta get hot. And right now, you can see the guns of Awaken are hot. Symbols 8 and 7, Noom 12 and 7, Llama 5 and 5, and S2 is 8 and 2. While on the other side of F5, Lurkers 5 and 8, Stewie's the only positive man, only by 1. Gunplay 3 and 10, who's one of their heavy hitters, and Tovin 6 and 10, another one of their heavy hitters. It seems like Awaken has just watched the VOD, figured out how this team likes to play, as we see Stewie pick up a nice little 2-piece there. But it seems as if Awaken has watched the VOD and figured out how this team likes to play, and they've set it up, and they've been able to shut it down.
And that was, honestly, a pretty good break off here from F5. They did a good job rotating, they did a good job holding things down, getting the kills, and they're finally going to be awarded with some actual substantial time. Let's see if they are able to still hang on to that.
Yeah, right now they do have a nice control over Church. Stewie is pulling it down on a 4 streak. He might want to think about playing towards streaks to help his team get a little bit closer. As you see, Awaken does get the break off with 30 seconds remaining on it to go into that scrappy P5. He does go on a 5, picks up a 2-piece, make it 6. He is 1 away from that glide, and that can be huge to bring his team back into this matchup.
There you go. And
there's
the
glide.
Yep. And that's going to be huge for momentum here for F5, is I think they can honestly take this, and if they can somehow chain this to the next hill, they could easily take the lead and swing momentum completely their way.
Yeah, but we do see number 5 in Symbols already set up. He does pick up a big kill. He's going to be challenging number 1 in the Lurker over by Hill. He does pick up 1, but he gets shut down. This is good for F5. They may be getting control. He's coming from that pinch from that top church connector into radio. And again, we're seeing Awaken get the majority of that time.
Yeah, a lot of big kills coming in here for them on the rotation. And yep, they keep going. Gunplay, the trades coming in perfectly as they're, I don't necessarily want to say set up perfect, but set up well enough to stop F5 from really even getting close. They get as close as the 5 side and push it out, spawn them even further out, and they just can't seem to find anything right now.
Yeah, this is very similar setup to what we saw in the first rotation in P2. They set up a semicircle around them. They have 1 man on, everybody else slaying out around the hill, pushing out, making F5 make decisions. They're not giving them time to set up and run and make a play. What I would like to see right now is some players from F5 start to make that rotation over to P1, because we see, yes, number 3 in Gunplay, the route man who loves to get paid, has already made that route. He's going to come up to a big 1v1. He does get the spot. That's beautiful. Right now, Gunplay holding that time, back into it. There is not much else going on around the hill right now. It looks like this could be the chance for F5 to try to drag themselves back.
Llama here is on someone with a big pinch, and they kind of are snuffing it out, I would imagine, if they stun him, but no one's really looking that way. And yep, there they are. They're finally going to snuff him out. And, honestly, a really good hold so far here.
Yeah, this is what you want to see from F5. It seems as if the guns are starting to get hot. Gunplay now 12 and 18. Rovin now 12 and 18. Lurker the only one that is 9 and 17. Trying to get to that double-digit kills. Stewie's holding it down, but now it's only a 30-something point game compared to it being them close to being down 100. Now they're starting to do exactly what Awaken was doing to them. Getting hill control, having 1 man on hill, everybody else slaying out. I feel like for the rest of this map, it's just going to come down to who can get trades, who can rotate early, and who can win the 1v1s when they matter.
Right, and S2's trying to pick up the kills here in the back, and if you want to look back to the last time we were at P2 here, it was a big hold for the side of Awaken, so we'll see if they're going to be able to get anything here, and so far, no time's being picked up. It's kind of scrappy around the side, and that's going to go towards Awaken, getting 3 down right there. That's going to be big.
Yeah, 3 down, go down for F5. S2 picks up another. He's now on a 3 streak. Nearly got the 4, but still the 2 guys pairing up. Gunplay now going to try to get involved. Hill is contested. They need to get this kill. They do. That's Hill time going over to F5. They need to keep it close. Every hill from here on out needs to be close. We could see a lead change come in. We could see a tie game by the end of this. We could see a tie map by the end of this hill. But again, it does matter on that location as Tobin gets shut down, Gunplay gets shut down, and Awaken have shut down the early rotation. And now it's going to be once again F5 trying to have to make a break.
Yeah, and it was a really good job of them breaking into P2 there, but you sacrificed getting that last 30 seconds to not really having anyone near here on the rotations for Noon. You're just going to have to hope for a good break, and so far it's not looking that good for the side of F5.
We do see 2 drops for Awaken, just Symbol's the last man on Hill. He's been one of the main time guys right now, but we do see fire push coming in. He doesn't shut it down, but trades there. Tobin gets the other trade. We could see a lead change. Where are the spawns? Where are the spawns? They are spawning mid-map. Now the spawns have flipped, but it doesn't matter because S2 is gonna pick up S2 and Noom are gonna pick up 3 under the last one alive for F5 in the back as they are spawning. But again, it doesn't matter because this is where the spawn trap comes in as you go over to P4, and they're just walking
Symbols
into a wall of bullets.
Oh my goodness! Oh, finally the nade's gonna come in to get them out, but that was a huge moment from Symbols there to break it and get some time. And honestly, they're looking pretty decent on these rotations. And if they can snuff this push out from the left side of the map, they'll be in good order. But ooh, some COD timing right there as Symbols is gonna finally go down there. I thought he was gonna be able to finesse somehow, but
it does come close. But again, we've seen it again, once and again and again throughout this map. Awaken is rotating early. They're forcing F5 to try to break, but they can't even get a break for a substantial amount of time because they only have 1 man on Hill. Everybody else is fanning out, making them run into that wall of bullets, but there's 3 dead for Awaken. This could be the opening. Stewie on time. 30 seconds left on this hill before we get into that scrappy P5. This is going to be big time here. You gotta wonder if the rotation might come a bit early. He shuts it down, he kills his teammate, but it doesn't matter. And that's 3, I believe that's 3 dead.
yeah, 3 dead. That's huge for the
20
side
seconds.
Yeah, that's going to be ginormous going into this next hill. And, you know, you see number 1 is he's going to be taken down there at P5. Is again, we're going to see Awaken here early on the rotations. But, I mean, that was a huge break, huge hold out of F5. And we're back where it's anyone's game here.
Exactly. It is now anyone's game. Because again, we've seen it. Awaken, rotating early, F5 to play a break. The breaks have been good, but it's not good enough because they're coming in way late off of the time. Because right now, hill control is contested. If I'm F5 right now, I'm throwing nades, I'm throwing stuns, I'm throwing everything, and I'm getting in and trying to contest to keep this game as possible for that rotation back to P1.
Yeah, and Awaken's doing a great job of shutting them out. And if you're F5, you're going to have to send 1 or 2 guys on a deep flank. Number 5 mid-map is just shutting them down, trying to get that pinch. Is right now, F5 can't seem to do anything right. They're just getting gunned down mid, gunned down in front of the point, and finally they're going to get a couple to drop, but that's a huge job out of them to try to get some time and hopefully extend this game.
Yep, again, we see it. Noom, big gunfight against Tobin, does win it. He's able to run back out to mid-map. Tobin trying to do something, but he can't. Time is contested, but it's back in the hands of F5. The trades are coming in. But right now, once again, just like on F5, if you're F5, you're nading, you're stunning, and you gotta fly, but it doesn't matter because S2 picks up 3, Llama picks up 4, and that's gonna be the end of map 1.
Wow.
If you are F5, this is just like what we saw from their first matchup.
No insurance? No problem. Book today and let us do anything to make you smile.
Ended up not being enough.
Yeah, and honestly, at the beginning of the game, part of me thought that Awaken was going to run away with it. But a great job at F5 to make it close, but just coming up short at the end there in the last 2 hills.
Last S&D because there were a couple plays that cost them the map in their last timeout.
Yeah, and I think going into this S&D, it's going to be a really big momentum build, and you're going to have to hope for F5 to, at least if they don't take this next map, to at least make it somewhat close. Because if Awaken, they made it close to that hard point, but towards that back half, I feel like a lot of the wind was taken out of F5 sails, and you got to regain going to this S&D with some sort of hope that you're going to make it competitive. Because if not, it could look like it could be another short match.
I would completely agree, and we saw some bad mistakes out of F5 in their first S&D that they played earlier this week, where it was just small bonehead plays that cost them the map. And right now, Awaken has shown, if you give us the inch, we're taking the mile. Because those late rotations out of F5, the losing the crucial one-on-ones, Awaken just took advantage, and that's what allowed them to pull away in map 1. And if that happens here, F5 could be down 2-0 in this series very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And I think going to S&D, I think two people to highlight on Awaken will definitely be S2 as well as Symbols. As those guys were just causing havoc through the entire time with subs. And if you're F5, you're going to have to be sure to single them out when trying to make A pushes. Otherwise, you're just going to be completely stuck at B if you're not able to get any kills over at A.
Exactly, I would agree. Like I said, the F5, they have strats, but their post plants have been a little bit shaky. And like I just said, Awaken has been realizing that. Awaken is the team with the hot guns. They've been winning their ones, but maybe, just maybe, this could be F5's chance if their guns started to get warm, and it continues to
Mm-hmm.
get warm like we were seeing towards the end of that Tuscan, because
Mm-hmm.
they were able to keep it close. It was just small mistakes, small one-on-ones here and there that caused them to lose that map. Along with a hot start from Awaken, like no discredit to them because they played amazing in that map 1.
Mm-hmm.
But again, S&D is anyone's game. It's especially in Vanguard, it's a millisecond decisions
Mm-hmm.
can be the deciding factor in winning a round.
Yeah, definitely. Vanguard just kind of breeds, mixiness, and it's going to be interesting to see how the teams kind of try to slow it down and single out who's going where. And I think a big thing, especially in Vanguard and S&D, is teamwork. So it'll be interesting to see who has the better teamwork.
Yeah, I would agree. And if you're F5, you're supposed to be one of the powerhouses in your pool. And going into the major, not winning them, going into the first two matches of this season and being down 0-7 in map count isn't a
Hmm.
good look for you.
Yeah.
Right now, you need to regain heavily and try to pull out this map too, because who
Hmm.
knows what can happen in a Tuscan control. One misstep from either team in a Tuscan control can lead to either all points being capped if you're on offense, or a spawn trap if you're on defense.
Yeah, definitely. And Tuscan, obviously, it breeds a lot of round fives just because defense is so heavy. But we've seen the slaying power of Awaken, and going into that control, you could easily see some offensive rounds being won just by some star players. And if you're F5, you're definitely at least looking to build some momentum after this map too. But
Yep.
yep.
Subway's dropping 12 new subs for the all-new Subway series menu.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping into map 2, and once again, it's another Tuscan. And we're going to be starting off with F5 on attack, but we are going to be kicking off with S2 on defense to see what their setup's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a split. The bomb carrier Stewie going to just try to wait, see if they can find any movement, see if they can spot any players, and then go from there.
And yeah, they're playing heavily to defend this A-side bomb here, as there's going to be the first pick of the round. That's going to be big. Oh, and a huge trade out of Llama there. And, well, and I thought he was going to turn on to Stewie right there. That almost could have been gross, but now you have numbers here for the side of F5, and we'll see what they try to do.
Yeah, this is what I was referring to for those who didn't catch F5's last matchup. When they were in man advantage situations, they still managed to let it slip through their fingers. They've been playing trades very well. It's in their advantage. Right now, if I'm F5, exactly. They're getting bombed down. They have the advantage. Make Awaken play to you. That should be the goal here, because you see they're spread apart. You only have S2 in the back, but it looks like we could see a gunfight between him and Stewie very soon if the sight line is there.
Yeah, if you're S2, you're just trying to look for anything right now. They're not giving him much.
And no, exactly. But they played that very well. F5 gets on the board, and that's what you want to see. It's a big improvement from what we saw last time. They had some difficulties in their man-up situations, and it seems as if they've improved on that, which is good for them. They played trades very well that round. So let's see how they deal with it on defense.
Yeah, and it'll be definitely interesting to see what they try to do here on offense now. This time is that B push wasn't necessarily, I don't think, planned at the beginning, but after you get 2 down, you get numbers. I think it made a lot of sense to push over there. Looks like it's going to be more of a hard A push here. Stuns, nades being tossed all over, and that's big for each side as trades come in.
But right now, it's looking like the trades are in favor of Awaken. Symbols does pick up bomb. It looks like from the minimap here. It looks like they are moving. They want to set up towards this A site, but Stewie does get the kill, makes it a 2v2. Gunplay picks up 2, and it's now a 2v1 in favor of F5. This is beautiful. Looks like they have made the adjustments to their S&D. Bomb is down. Stewie and Gunplay are playing this perfectly. They're grouped up. S2 gonna have to deal with another 2v1 situation, and they may not know where he is, so this could be an advantage for him. But they spot him, and Stewie picks up the kill, and this is perfect. 2-0 up right now for F5, and like you were saying, this can be the momentum swing for the series.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see, too, here. Stewie now on a 4 streak is, we'll see if they try to make him play maybe a bit slower, try to see if he can find a couple picks, or maybe feed him some kills to hopefully get some streaks early on in this game, as this would really make a difference on this map.
Exactly, and we've already seen the nades are out. They're on their 100 Thieves type today with the nades. Because right now, we've seen multiple nades being thrown, placed perfectly. Stewie is again going to take the bomb. And again, it's like that similar setup where they have the one set up in that top fire position, the others deep towards A. I like a little bit of the slowness. They're making Awaken slow down. They're not rushing to a site. They're not trying to bully out a site. They're playing for picks, and they've already gotten 2, and now it's a 4v2 life advantage. Make that 4v3.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if you're F5, you're doing a really good job here, because you knew in the hard point that this Awaken team was very aggressive. So play slow, make them come to you. And so far, it's been working, but that's a big gunfight there. It's going to be a 1v1 now between Llama and Laker.
Yeah, big 1v1 situation. Laker does still have bomb. They don't know where he is, but he is playing that little bit of a cruddy angle, so you can watch over bomb. We could see a gunfight coming very soon, but it looks like Llama is starting to make that rotation over. They're gonna run right into each other, and Laker's gonna win it.
That's a big read out of him.
Up.
Yeah, I think, there's a lot of momentum here coming here for the side of F5. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, right now this is exactly what F5 wants. They kept the first map hardpoint close. Their guns started to get hot at the end of it, and now it seems like their guns are warm, and they're playing the game they like to play. They like to play that slower progression-based type of game, and right now Awaken hasn't had any play for it because they're just set up in all the routes that Awaken want to run through. Like just cruddy game. They're just sitting in corners. They're waiting.
Yeah, and right now it seems to be a very, very patient push here from the side of Awaken, as we might see a gunfight here. That's going to be a huge first blood out of Symbols.
Yeah, that's a big kill from Symbols. Positioning was good from Tovin, just Symbols happened to check his corner. But Lurker again playing backside of Bomb. Bomb still has not gone down yet, and it looks like it is going to go down right now. Some of the players, they are watching Bomb. It looks like number 2 and Stewie might be trying to do a little bit of a wrap up with Lurker. And Lurker gets the kill with the stun, making it a 3v2, or 2v1.
Oh,
Making another
big kill out of
1v1
SQ.
situation. Gunplay and S2 playing for his life again with 27 seconds left. Gunplay's gonna have to get the kill and get the defuse. They're gonna meet up. There we go. Gunplay's gonna get the kill, and it looks like he will have time to get the defuse, making it 4-0 F5. This is beautiful S&D right now from F5 Esports.
Yeah, and right now F5 they just got the ice. I mean, they're just winning their ones. They're getting the trades. They're playing everything right. And if you're on the side of Awaken, you got to kind of wake up and maybe win a round here. This might be a quick 6-0 or a 6-1.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Right now, it doesn't seem like Awaken has any idea of what to do. It seems like the slow style of F5 Esports has kind of shaken them a little bit. Like right now, you see Noom is 0-4, Llama 2-4, S2 is 3-4, and this man has tried to. He's been in a 2v1 or 3v1 every single round so far, and it's all because they haven't been able to combat the slow pace of play that F5 likes to bring.
That's gonna be a big kill out of Symbols. They're gonna get the trades though, and I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to trade out Neem there. So numbers are finally gonna be on the side of Awaken here.
Yeah, right now numbers are in favor of Awaken. Stewie does have Bomb. Him and Gunplay grouped up. We love to see this. But right now, it looks like all of the sight lines that are being covered right now are all towards the A bomb. So it could be a possibility that F5 wants to try to move this towards the B bomb, but it looks like they are starting to make that wrap back over.
Yeah, and you see Llama number 7 just lurking below fire with Gunplay right up on top of him, and he could kind of play spoiler if he reads this in with the flank through P5, as it looks like he might try to go through. Yep, he will, as there might be a huge pinch coming right here.
Yep, here it comes. The pinch is in. There's one, and there is two. That is exactly what you need if you're Awaken. You slowed it down a little bit on your defense, and you're able to steal around there. Like there isn't much else that could have been done on the side of Gunplay and Stewie, based on the sole fact that Awaken just wasn't giving them anything. There was no information that could be gained, and it all just kind of had to come down to a game of chance, and it just happened that Llama would go in the wrap and get the 2-piece.
Yeah, just a really good read and really good timing that worked out for the side of Awaken there.
Yeah, right now 4-1 scoreline favoring F5, but again the setups are there, the information, they've got it. There's one, the trade is in. 3v3, Bomb's towards that A site, the stun's coming in, Lurker's hit. One of the hottest players in the lobby at 7-4 right now.
And it's pretty spread out on both sides here, as they're kind of just playing for information, I'd feel, and 3's kind of getting somewhat eager in mid-map.
Yeah, right now, Gunplay does have the angle. He's not giving himself up too much. He's going to be able to see him. He does. He's going to get the kill and dip. Now 3v2, bomb down. Now all F5 has to do is sit on top of that bomb. It looks like they are going to get the kill. No! Whoa. S2 is going to get it. 2v2 now. Lurker, Stewie, Newman, S2. But Lurker does spot him. He has to give the call out to his teammate. We could see a rotation. They know where bomb is. They just have to have a sight line on that bomb because there isn't much else to do. Unless Noom is going to try to get... It looks like they're going to try to get Freaky and try to deal with him top church.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that was a great kill out of S2, as he's going to get another one right there. Is 2 huge kills, both untraded, as all of a sudden, if you're Stewie, you're kind of stuck in a bad spot with the sub.
Exactly. You're stuck in a sub trying to watch this angle. He knows he's there, but just no angle. Hard kill to get with the MP40 there. 40 seconds. He's got to get 2 kills, and that's the other thing. Awaken aren't grouping up. He does get a big kill. 1v1. We've seen it. F5 have come on top in those 1v1 so far. Stewie against S2. The man who's been left alive and had to deal with way more 1v1s than the average person should. They're going to rid each other, and Stewie shuts him down. He's going to get the defuse, making it 5-1 F5.
And like I said before, just so much ice on this F5 side here, as we didn't see much of it in the hard point, but it seems like they're coming alive here in S&D. And if you're F5, I'd be looking to close it out this next round to absolutely ensure that Awaken doesn't build any sort of momentum going into the next round.
Exactly. Right now, you you now have F5 thinking that you came to play. You kept that hard point close. You're running away with this S&D. Just like you said, if I'm F5 right now, you got Stewie at 8-3, Gunplay at 4-3, Lurker at 7-5. You guys have had the ice all map long. Your main goal should be to close it out here on offense. And it looks like it's going to be a straight, hard B push out of F5 because it looks like they've played the dummy and everybody from Awaken is looking the opposite direction, and it's going to be a 4-man hit. He's got nothing to do. S2's taken down, and it looks like that bomb's going to go down on B at any time now.
Yeah, and just honestly a great play call out of F5. Awaken went to try to hard counter the B, but Llama's going to get a big kill. As numbers are going to be even, as that's another huge skill there for Llama. As I was going to say that F5 looked pretty good, but now I'm not so sure as some COD timing there. As he's not going to see him cross through top radio.
He's got to get this kill. He does. He gets the kill. He's got to try to get out with his life, but he can't because they have a man positioned in the back. Bomb's going to get defused, and the round is going to go over to Awaken. Just like you were just saying, great idea. They had the full bull rush into the B site. They got bomb down, but Awaken adjusted beautifully, and were able to take out that round and keep this map going just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and Llama making another big play there, getting a 2 pieces. I'm pretty sure he was the one, I want to say 3 or 4 rounds ago, who made another flank through P5. As he seems to be their route man, as both times he's come up big for them.
Exactly. Llama is sitting at 6-6, along with Symbol sitting at 6-6. He's been their route man, and as we all know, route men get paid. That's twice in this match where he's made that cut through P5 and gotten a 2-piece out of it. But it looks like Awaken are just going to do the same thing.
Stewie's going to have a big job here to at least try to get one, as he won't be able to get any.
Now 4v3, favor of Awaken. Maybe have they woken up? Are they saying we're not dropping out this easy? Number 7 and Llama on top of that B-bomb. Gunplay the man in the back, but that is Symbol sitting right in front of him. He's got to be careful here. One slight move could tip it either way. Does he see him out of the corner of his eye? He does! Gunplay gets the kill and snaps on him, making it 3v3. 36 seconds. Lurker gets another kill, making it 3v2. Newman S2 against Lurker, Gunplay, and Tovin.
Yeah, and Gunplay with the absolute gunny just to snap onto him, and he's going to get another one here. And
that's it.
There we go, and that's it. F5 with honestly a great map here, in my opinion. A great job bouncing back from that first hard point. Is going to control, I'd say, almost all of the momentum in their side.
Yeah, I completely agree. As a captain, they made small mistakes in their last match in the S&D, and that has been cleaned up as we see it with a complete 6-2 domination. They didn't really have much of the first blood, but even with the man down advantages, they were able to capitalize. Even with man up, they were able to capitalize, and that's what you want to see to drive a series and keep the team on their toes.
And yeah, honestly, just all around a really good fundamental map out of F5. You saw them winning a majority of the times that they had numbers, which we didn't see in the past. So credit to them for improving on that, for executing in times when they did have numbers. The play calling was on point, playing slow against their teammate was on point, and honestly, just a really typical map all around for F5.
Yeah, right now, if I'm F5, I'm feeling good after keeping that initial hard point very close. We are going to another Tuscan control. And again, you have to play your favor. F5, they like to play a little bit slower. Awaken likes to play fast. We saw that strategy work out for Awaken in the hard point, but the slower strategy working out for F5. This is just a clash of styles right now. And going to control where both strategies can work, it's going to come down to who can manage their lives, who can get the most ticks, and who can win the crucial ones.
And I think it's really going to come down to the subs of each team. Awaken likes to push the tempo, so it's going to be interesting to see if F5 either tries to match it, if they try to slow it down, because in hard points, sometimes you have to match it, but in control, a lot of times you can slow it down, especially on defense. So we could end up seeing some dominant defensive rounds at F5 here.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to be their mindset going into this. Their SMGs have been hot. They started to heat up. They were heated. They were hot in map 1. They got even hotter in map 2. So right now you have to be wondering, if you're F5, what can we do? What's our strategy? How are we going to keep Awaken slowed down? Because if that's just like the way that they like to play respawns, then you have to be ready for them to fly at you. You have to think that on Awaken's first, yeah, on their first offensive round, you have to imagine that they're just going to be flying right at you.
Definitely 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be jumping into map 3 very shortly, right after this commercial break.
Hello everybody, my name is Epiphany and I'm joined by Electrify Steel today, some of the members of the roster.
What's good? I'm Mason Reciprocity Morgan, baby. I'm a flex player for Electrify Steel and I can't wait to fry.
It's Dylan, Hidden Season, and I'm an SMG for Electrify Steel, and I can't wait to bait Confid and scream at Reciprocity.
My name is Logan Confid Mercer, you know me. I'm the baiter of the squadron, I'm the SMG, you know. I can't wait to carry Hidden Season to a fucking league win. You guys god awful. Hello, my name is Amir. Me is ECP. I'm the main AR of the squadron, and I got the S&D unlocked.
What's going on, guys? I'm the owner, president of ESG, Electrify Steel.
My next question for you guys is, how did your team come together? What was the building process for this one?
These guys were like a trio, like they've actually been putting in work for some time now, and I started playing with them and I'm like, these guys are kind of like gross, like they can shoot straight. If I could just teach them anything at all of what I know, like they could be like gross.
Well, talk about humbleness. I want to ask you, what do you see as your target league placement?
First.
I mean, first or nothing, really. I'm very tired of second place.
All right, well, my next question for you guys is, what do you have to say to your supporters, any of the ESG fans out there?
Thank you.
You gotta say the fans keep you going. The support keeps you going.
Oh my god. I want to shout out my mother, my father, my brother.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming by. Really nice to meet you, Fresh, by the way.
Back to even life count, they did get a full tick on A in that second progression. Is starting gunplay just ripped. He says, you're not challenging me right there with an MP40 top turn.
Yeah, honestly, really good job out of F5 to realize, okay, it's a B hit off rip. Let's rotate back. Let's get these kills. Let's make sure they don't get a tick. We got to give up A. We got to give up A because B's obviously that more important point.
And right now, I do like what I'm seeing. They decided, hey, they got A, fine, give it to them. We're still close. We got 23 lives to 24. Let's try to bleed them out here. 2 minutes still on the clock for Awaken to try to cap this B point, but still no progress made. And Symbol starting off 0-4. He's got to help out his squad just a little bit more.
Yeah, as you see number 3 in the back there, that's Llama. He's going to be trying to pick up some kills. As they're going to look to try to get the first tick at least. As that's a big one out of Llama. As that's going to be another 2 dead. Make that 3. And this might be an issue here for F5 if they can here get quick enough.
Yeah, if I'm F5 here, I'm hugging every throwable in this game. And now they're starting to come in. The contest is in. 2 drop. 3 drop. And the last one alive. And it looks like that ticket progression is going to start to get drained back off of that B point. But the life advantage still in favor of Awaken Militia.
Niam pulls a clay there. I don't know if anyone else caught that. He spawned and fell off the map. But yeah, honestly, really good job there out of F5. They did the same thing as before. They got 3 down. They regained. They hit the hill properly. Excuse me, the point properly. And now they're looking like they're in pretty good control here.
Yeah, right now they're doing exactly what we were talking about. They're making Militia play to their style. They're playing slow. They're playing in corners. They're making them push to them. They're not going to throw themselves on the point and make them do something. They're going to wait, and then as soon as they see somebody on that point, they're going to just jump out and start flying.
Yeah, this is a really good job here out of Awaken. You saw they had a 4 stack over at P5. They got some trades. They're in the point. That's a big kill there. They're going to get 2 dead. Make that another 3 dead there as Llama's going huge. Another 4 as F5's got to hurry and get to this point before it's capped. As they're not going to have a chance at all. Yeah. That's just a huge offensive round there.
Yeah, if I'm F5, I'm hitting the regain button very quickly because that wasn't even a complete domination. You saw that you did figure out how Militia likes to play. They played very smart, just as like you were saying. You saw them try to make that big, hard B hit off rip. F5 adjusted properly. But right now, not every gun on Awaken seems to be hot, while the guns on F5 are. So right now, if I'm F5, you got to try to get around on the board, try to drain those lives a little bit more, and maybe play a little bit better defense next round, because draining 2 minutes with that many lives left is a very tough task.
Yeah, we see some trades coming in here is on both sides of each team. Is honestly, I was kind of surprised that F5 didn't try going for a B hit, considering that since they weren't since Awakening won the offensive round, they're going to be down in ticks. As just kind of utter dominance right here from Awaken. But that's going to be 3 dead as Stewie's going to be trying to make that hit to B. He's going to be caught out by S2. That's a huge gunfight.
Yeah, right now, if you're Awaken Militia, you smell blood in the water. You've got 3, 4 dead situations, and their objective right now is just push the spawn. And if I'm F5, I'm just trying to break it. That's got to be your first course of action. You're down 26-20 in lives. The trades haven't been there. You've been in multiple 2 down, 3 down situations, and you haven't even gotten a tick of progress yet.
Yeah, as a lot of the momentum that they built up in S&D almost seems to have been gone from that first round. As you look at the side of F5, is some of those KDs are looking pretty rough here as we get into the second round. But
yes, it's very difficult right now. They don't even have a single tick of progress, and even if you're not getting on kills, you can still lose it based off of ticks. But right now, the ticks aren't even coming in. There's not a single finished point of progress on either the A or B zone, because right now it just seems like F5 is just getting overwhelmed. They started off so hot. Now gunplay 5 and 12, Tovin 9 and 13, Stewie 5 and 10. It seems like the momentum just completely flipped. Awaken's guns that started off slow in round 1, all of that cold switched right over to F5.
yeah, as it looks like Awaken might try to make one last hit on A to get them off, and they're going to get 2 dead. And if you're F5, you got to be worried here because, 30 seconds left in the round, and you've yet to cap 1 point.
Yeah, only 30 seconds left on the clock. You're down 17-5. It's going to be miraculous. You haven't even finished the A point yet. You have no respawns. They're still contesting over at A. Stewie going to try to do something to help out the ticks. Looks like they might finally finish A in a 15v2. But there isn't much else you can do. You're still down 3 ticks and down 15-1, and it's just up to Lurker, who's the only positive member of F5 right now.
Yeah, and they're finally gonna stuff them out there. It's just Awaken absolutely bodied them that round. As if you're F5, you're gonna need to hit a quick regain here on this defense. It hopefully should be winnable. Personally, I think a big issue for F5 is that they got too trapped in that fast-paced kind of gameplay that Awaken likes to play. As F5 wasn't able to keep up, especially on defense, it's going to be big to stick to your guns and not get overzealous and not try to match your pace.
Exactly, and right now, if this trend continues, we could see a 3-0 from Awaken Militia here, and also going into another respawn. That could spell trouble for F5 in this series. Everything that we talked about in the S&D of them making Awaken play their strategy, making them play slower, has almost gone completely out the window, because now already a tick of progress in on the 8 point, and they're still slaying out around it. Symbols with a huge 2-piece. Oh my god!
Yeah, and with Symbols shooting like that, it's hard to shut him down. As he seems to have finally woken up, as he was the only one on the side of Awaken that was struggling. But if all 4 of them are shooting like that, it's going to be hard for F5 to pull anything out here.
Yeah, right now. Oh my god, Symbols, you are a man possessed. Give him 6. Oh, he gets shut down there by Lurker. But again, that tick of progress on A. A still not done, but it will be now. Make that 2 minutes and 9 seconds with only a 2-life advantage. Lurker now with the MP in hand, trying to do something. He shuts down S2, and right now, if I'm F5, you're defending for your life.
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim right here. Granted, the lives, they're still somewhat even. You got to regain. You got to play that slow. I mean, when you try to overchow like they did before, you see people like Symbols will just pop off and take 3 on you as the wide bomb's going to come through here. And it's going to pick up S2, or excuse me, going to pick up gunplay in the back.
Yeah, right now, if we just look at the scoreboard, folks. S is 20-7, and Noom is 20-8. This is just domination from Awaken. They are having their way. Look at S2. He's just running off of spawn. Noom is pushed up into the F5 spawn. They're not even jumping on the point. They have 1 minute and 12 seconds. They could just play TDM, but look, it looks like Gunplay and Tobin might have woken up just a little bit to try to make them make a move for the B point.
Yeah, and Gunplay finds one in the back. That's going to be a huge kill if he can get it, and he does. So still some life here for F5. They're not done yet.
Yeah, right now it looks like F5's trying to gain just a little bit. You see Lurker 16 and 16. Remember that 3 players coming in. He does pick up 2 though. Makes still the life account still in favor of F5, but Noom is 22 and 9. This guy's him and S2 are just men possessed right now. Tobin does pick another, make it 13-11. F5 looks like they have a little bit of signs of life now in this control.
Yeah, and the good thing you do have here is time is running out. So if you're F5 and you can just keep them off the point, you can maybe scrape by this, as they do have lives.
Yeah, right now 12-9 life count, only 17 seconds. Awaken's got to do something. That's dead now for F5. They're trying to get that control, make that 3 down, but only 9 seconds left. And there it is. Symbols is going to step on top of time. The nade gets him weak. S2 takes him down. Symbols picks up another. The trades are in. The trades are there. Only 8.7 seconds left. They want to at least maybe try to get a tick of progress. But the life count has swung in their favor, but they have to stay on time. Only 7 seconds left, and there's no respawn. It's 7v3 now.
Yeah, F5 just completely crumbled there, as they can't find a kill right now. And make that another one, and Stewie the last one up, and he's not going to be able to do anything as wow. Awaken just took that away from them there at the end. Is just a 3-0 smoke show.
Yeah, that was bad. There's no commentary. There's no nice way to say that. That was bad. You had them in life advantage. You had them in time, and they managed to life you. Not even cap a point. They lifed you. You can't have guys like Noom and S2 having 22 untraded kills and only out of 30 lives in a game of control.
Yeah, as you look at Stewie, he really struggled that map. I was kind of surprised because he was one of the more bright spots for F5 on that first map, and I think it just came down to the subs kind of getting swung into that mix with Awaken there, as Awaken just outgunned them, outpressured them, and really just pushed them as far back as they could on offense and on defense.
Yeah, right now, if I'm F5, just like in the S&D, you need to regain and win this hard point to try to force it to a game 5. You've shown that your S&D is good. but your respawns are letting you down now.
Yeah,
Before your respawns were keeping you in it, but now it's your respawns that have letting you down. You left up some cracks, and that's what allowed Awaken to win the map 1. And then you gave them the last round in that control.
Right. And going into Berlin, I think hopefully this is sort of a good thing for F5 as we saw people on their side, their ARs being stronger than their subs, especially in that control. Hopefully having those longer lanes and longer sight lines can help them, as the Tuscan wasn't bad whatsoever. It was just mainly the break off in the end of the game. And if F5 can not just come out the gate so slow, they can easily take away a hard point.
Yeah, I think right now, if I'm F5, you have to find a way to implement both styles, because right now Awaken, they ran through you in that last map. They ran clean through you, and we
Yeah.
saw it again. You give them an inch, they're taking the mile, and they're winning the map off of it. We saw it in the hard point, and we just saw it in that last round of control. Something's got to change going into this Berlin hard point if we want to see it map 5.
Yeah, definitely. And Awaken, they're probably feeling on top of the world. They're probably talking trash. They're probably saying, come on, guys, let's bury them right now. And F5's just got to step back, take a deep breath, completely regain, and forget that last map happened whatsoever, because now your back's against the wall and you got to do something.
Exactly. You got to find a way to steal, because at this point, with the way we've seen the 2 respawns go, this would be stealing a hard point off of Awaken. All of their guns are hot. Their lowest man still was in double digits and only, I think, like 2 kills negative, compared to the side of F5 where everybody's triple or quadruple or close to quadruple negative. All
We're
right,
good.
ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be jumping into this map 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping into Berlin map 4 hardpoint. We're going to start off on the side of F5 in gunplay.
Yeah, I definitely think Gunplay is going to be kind of be a guy to watch out for. He was really the only one in that control that could really piece together anything. This is more of an AR favorable map for most parts. There are some spots where subs can get mixy, like this P1 and P2, but it'll be interesting to see if Gunplay can really get anything going and help out this F5 team.
Right now, they're 2-0. They do have map control right now, but it looks like Awaken are pushing forward. They're doing what they did in that Tuscan. They're keeping the hill, they're keeping P1 scrappy, and then they're just pushing through and then overwhelming F5 to the point where they just can't move. Like right now, we haven't seen anybody from F5 even make it close to P2, while Awaken's already making a rotation.
Yeah, this is big rotation. Great job out of Awaken to break in and get some solid time in P1. We know P1 can be pretty mixy, but coming out of P1 with 30 seconds, it's a really good feeling to have and a really good way to start the game.
Yeah, S2 right now, 7-2. Lurker trying to get something going. Stewie's still 1-4. Gunplay the only positive one on the team right now. And it looks like we saw it again. Awaken getting the break, and they're getting the rotations early. Oh, it seems as if they're toying with F5 because they did it in map 1. They're allowing them to get time, but then all of a sudden they just burst through in numbers because we've already seen it. Gunplay drops in the outer, and Llama's on the rotation. S2 burst the hill, and there's the break.
Right, and trades are going to come in favor Awaken here. You are going to see number 3, that's Gunplay. He's trying to make a big push to get these spawns for the next hill, as he's going to somehow sneak past Noom, as now F5 is going to spawn at Noom, so they did a good job rotating there, as this is a money hill coming up here with P3.
Yeah, this is a big money hill. Lurker picking up kills on the outer. And it seems like the guns outside of Tovin are starting to get a little bit warmer. Stewie picks up another. They are sort of set up in the back here. They did this perfectly. This, like you said, this is a money hill. The trade, perfect. Needed to get that trade because this is big time right now. Now it's going to come down to winning your ones and how well can you trade against a very hot Awaken squad.
As so far so good for F5. This has been probably the best hold we've seen from them all day.
Yeah, this is the best hold we've seen out of F5 for sure. We're going to see a lead change if this continues. The trades have been on point. The setup is there. Just a couple kills here and there coming out from Awaken. And we are going to see a lead change. Stewie picking up another. Lurker picks up another. He knows that man's at fire. He's just gunning him down. And it looks like
kills.
right now, if I'm Awaken, I might start to think about a rotation over the P4.
Yeah, Symbols and Llamas, they spawned up with 20 seconds left and they just backed up. But you are going to see Stewie and Gunplay in the back as Gunplay going all the way deep into Warehouse. So they can find Llama back here. That'd be huge rotations. As he's gonna find it. That's huge.
He finds it. That is a huge kill there. This is more early time going to the side of F5. This is what, or sorry, the side of Awaken. This is what they need. Llama gets the early time, but Gunplay does pick up another. He jumps over the top, gets the kill. Lurker drops him, and the lead steadily increasing, but that's 4 dead. That's 4 dead. Spawns in for Awaken, and we could see a lead change.
Yeah, as you see, they're spawning pretty far out as of right now. People are pushing up closer to that P5 almost, it seems like, but both teams spawning out. Both teams almost spawn in the same exact spot there in that outer from P1, trying to hit this hill just to try to get them off. And Tovin's gonna beat Noon there.
Beat Noon to death, dude. I don't know what happened there. Because right now, it looks like nobody on time yet. We could see rotations. Lurker gets a big kill there. He does get traded by Noon. But again, we are seeing numbers 2 and 3, Stewie and Gunplay. Once again on the early rotation, this could be a big kill coming in the train station. Stewie gets shut down from top third. That's huge.
Yeah, as you see Noom, he's going to make that rotation, spawn his guys top plat. As it doesn't seem like F5 read that, as they're going to have a good break here coming from the back of the hill.
Yeah, I don't think anybody read him slip through there. The spawns are now going to be all over the place in such a close matchup. If you're F5 right now, you need to just keep P5 scrappy. That's what this hill is meant to be. Keep P5 scrappy, then get a rotation over to P1. But what you have to do, though, you have to deal with Noon and Llama that are lurking around this P1 hall. And that's 3 dead for F5. The lead grows for Awaken, and it doesn't seem like that inch that F5 gave on that P4 is coming back to what we saw in Tuscan.
Yeah, as Noom's picking up huge kills here on the rotation, and he can get this last one that's huge and massive for this rotation. If you're F5, you got to worry that if they can chain P5 to P1 and get significant time, that they could really extend this gap.
Yeah, right now we're seeing it like we saw before. You have the 1 man on hill, number 6 in Symbols. He does get taken down though. Now that's 2 men on time, but Awaken is spawning. They know where they're spawning. And now, right now, if you're F5, you need to find something to do, but that's 4 dead for you once again. That's a 3-piece for S. He's on a 4. He's 2 from streaks. Noom is in your spawn, just in fire. Make it a 3 spree for him. The lead continues to grow. Make it a 4. This man is a menace.
Yeah, when you got Noom and S2 shooting the way that they are, it's almost impossible for F5 to even escape their spawn.
Yeah, F5. Right now, if you're F5, you're scared. You have to be scared. You were so close. You had the lead. You had them buried. And then you made 2 small mistakes that have now allowed Awaken to break out an almost 200-point lead on you.
Yeah, and if you're F5, I mean, you don't get any time in that P1. You basically get full 60 on a hill that's supposed to be somewhat mixy. You do come to this next hill and get some kills, so at least the regain is there, but, you know, with Awaken up by 80, with the damage that we know that they can do, they're in a dangerous spot here.
Yeah, right now, the only hope right now for F5 is you have to get significant time here and then win your rotation battle over to P3 and try to do what they did on the first rotation. Because otherwise, they're because that's what they're doing. They're doing their strat. 1 man on hill, 1 or 2 men on hill, everybody else push out, slay out. That's 3 dead. Llama's playing for his life, but he does get taken down. Lurker now on time. like to see a rotation start. It's a big gunfight between 4 and 5. 5 wins it. That's going to be early time again, but he does get traded. And right now, it looks like F5 could have control of P3 when it pops.
Yeah, trades came out on the side of F5 as Llama turns on the gunplay. That would have been a huge kill, as it seems like Awaken should spawn here, and they do. So last time we saw F5 rip off almost a full 60 on this hill, and now they look like they have to break in, so we're going to see how that goes for that side of them.
Yeah, right now, and if I'm Awaken, you know that you can win it here. But at the same token, if you're F5, you gotta do whatever you can. You gotta put nades, you gotta do everything. If you had the setup, that's twice now that we've seen them have the setup. One, and that leads to the lead getting thrown on the side of Awaken. And right now, Awaken is looking to close this out. The guns are hot. S2 is 32 and 8 and has a glide.
Yeah, between S2 and Noom, I mean, you're 63 and 23. I mean, they are frying for the side of Awaken right now. They literally are putting Symbols in the backpack currently.
Yeah, Symbols is in the backpack. He's chilling. He doesn't even got to do anything. They're just saying, Symbols, you get on time. Let me and S2 slay out. Because nobody on F5 outside of gunplay is even positive. Everyone's negative. Once again, S2, 33 and 9. 33 and 9 still. We thought that was going to be number 34.
And yeah, I mean, it's just S2 and Noom doing it all, as the Cruise is going to come in here. As this could really kind of be the final nail in the coffin, as gunplay is going to go down from the Cruise. S2 is going to pick up another one. Oh my god, I thought he almost tapped onto that one. As Lurker trying to extend the game, as F5 can't do anything right now.
F5 can't do anything. Symbols is 36 and 10. Noom is 36 and 16. This is so chalked. It's chalked beyond belief. Like F5, you literally gave them these last 2 maps. If I'm F5, I'm kicking myself for getting early rotations, having everything done early, and then losing the crucial ones. Now 5 seconds away from losing this map. Early hill time goes to Awaken. They've got the brick wall set up. It's over. Awaken runs roughshot through F5 and close out this series 3-1 with a hard point scoreline of 250 to 143.
Yeah, when you got people like Noom and S2 just shooting absolute missiles out of their guns, it's going to be hard. Noom 40 and 16 with 32 untraded kills. S2 36 and 10 with 34 untraded kills. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, that's just a bad look if you're F5. You got put in a blender for the last 2 maps. Like, you showed your bright spots with your... They've almost regressed. They showed great signs of improvement in the S&D. They played great hardpoint their first time around, but now they've gone into the complete 180, and now their respawns are struggling. Awaken just put them in a body bag.
Yeah, and I guess if you're on the side of F5, the one good thing to take out of this is that, you know, your S&D looked really, really good. But it's clear that with heavy slaying teams like Awaken, that you're going to have to work on just your slaying potential and just keeping track of people like Noom and S2, as they were just running rabid, just spawn trapping you, playing that fire area, playing from P1 area, just basically doing whatever they wanted on the map.
Exactly. There was nothing that F5 could do. Awaken, like you said, shooting absolute missiles, beams, nukes, whatever you want to call it. When you have 2 guys having 60 untraded kills combined, you know it's about to be trouble. But ladies and gentlemen, we didn't have a 3-0, but we did see some just more domination from Awaken. That's going to be it for us, but stay tuned, because very shortly we're going to be tuning in to another banger between Cincinnati and Aspire.